Hey everyone and welcome to the episode. It's your turn.
We actually switched it now somehow.
You're 24, aren't you? You're even, I'm odd.
Yeah, but remember because last episode you wanted to introduce Jonathan?
Yeah, that was 23. I'm odd. You're even.
I think that's right.
It's all good.
We'll just stick to that now anyway, from now on.
Yep.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the Broken by Concept show, or also well known as BBC in the podcasting community.
That's right.
This is the show where all your League of Legends dreams come true.
Woohoo.
It's like a Disneyland
Yeah,
for League of Legends.
that's correct.
That's the experience you have when you listen to our podcast.
Well,
would you describe it that way, Curtis?
Well, the thing is, when you go to Disneyland, you don't actually
Curtis, you've
expect...
never... Oh, well, hold on. You've never been to
I
Disneyland.
have.
You've been to Disneyland?
Yeah.
What?
I went in Japan.
Oh, my God. But the Japan version of it.
Yeah, but it's still Disneyland.
But it's not the same as
It's
the
awesome. I had the
main
full
Disneyland.
experience. I stayed at the Disneyland Hotel as well, man. It was overpriced as hell.
You pay charge.
But you do it.
That's
It's
such
an
a
experience.
perfect money maker thing. You got the hotel, you got the rides, you got the thing. It's like this whole package.
It's a whole
like,
package.
It's like for the time that they
And
with
you go on
you.
all, the rides were pretty good though.
Yeah.
Really good. Universal Studios was better though. I went to Universal Studios in, I believe it was in Osaka, and I think Disneyland was in Tokyo, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. But it was fun.
I actually did
I had a
not
good
know
time.
in Japan there was a Universal Studios in Disneyland.
Yeah, it's sick. It's really good.
That blows my brain.
I was freezing my balls off though, but it was...
Because it was like, was it
winter.
snowing?
Yeah. It was awesome though.
So
Good
you're
times.
going to say that it's our podcast isn't like Disneyland?
Well, when you go to Disneyland, you don't actually think your dreams are going to come true.
yeah.
So it's like,
there's
you say it, but it's like... It's more for kids, little kids. Was our
Yeah.
podcast for little kids, Nathan? Our podcast is not for little kids.
I guess Disneyland is-
sophisticated. Or we
'cause-
like to think this is a sophisticated podcast.
Maybe it is just for kids. I don't know.
Yeah. So we actually got a comment, and I was actually talking to Nathan
Yeah.
about this earlier on today.
I can't remember what this is about.
Oh, one of the comments was we're talking about it. We got feedback,
Yeah.
and I'm just thinking about the direction of this podcast.
Oh, so
And-
you're talking about Cannon's...
yeah, his thing.
His thing, saying that...
I mean, it's less about.
Okay, hold on. We got to say what it is about first. So,
No, I don't even want to talk about the comment really. I just
Well,
want to talk about that's where it got me started
okay,
in terms
yeah.
of just thinking about the identity of the channel.
Yeah.
Essentially, we got a comment about feedback about the podcast.
yeah.
And it got me thinking about the direction of this podcast
Got
moving
it.
forward.
Yeah.
And I think there's, obviously we haven't really done a podcast before. We're only, 24 episodes in.
We
have
got
no idea
what
what the
we're
fuck
doing. We said we're going to do 1,000 episodes. We're going to like drag ourselves over the line.
Well, it's similar. I'm doing this exactly the same like I did my YouTube channel.
You didn't
where
know what was...
I had not. If you look at the beginning of my channel,
Yeah.
I had support content. I had like I had team play content. I had everything else. I had bot lane content, I had top lane content.
You know the funny thing? Sometimes someone I think emailed us or something, or I saw some comment saying, "Oh, like Curtis, like love your stuff. I've been watching your channel for 2 years," and it's so funny because people think you've been around for 2 years when you've literally
a year.
A year.
Yeah.
How funny is that?
And it's barely a year because at the first
Yeah,
month,
no
I
one
didn't even
knew,
do proper content.
And no one even knew who you were.
No.
You wasn't until like January of this year.
January.
February.
So it's basically properly been like 11 months.
It's either people have lost their perception of time because of COVID, like they feel like it's
Yeah,
just gone forever,
forever.
or they think that you've done so much content. There's no way you haven't been around for 2
I've
years.
done 191 videos on my, on my channel.
and like all of them like an hour long essentially.
Yeah. So anyway, the way we did is you both of us, or actually it wasn't really you. You kind of had a clear identity with your channel.
Yeah, I just went all in on.
But for me,
long
I didn't know
views.
I was going to be mid lane centric.
Yeah.
I was like, screw it. Halfway through, well, not halfway through.
Didn't you?
I didn't. You look at the start of my channel. I was doing all roles.
Oh yeah, solo queue tip of the day and stuff was all roles, wasn't
It was
just
all
for mid.
roles. Even before that, I did a top lane coaching
Yeah.
content. I did like heaps of shit.
Yeah.
And then eventually I honed in on mid lane.
Mm.
And this is the same way we're approaching this podcast.
Yeah.
We don't know the identity of this podcast. We have a rough idea maybe, but we're just going with the flow and seeing how this, works over the next few months. And one of the things for this episode anyway, I want to experiment with is keeping it very free flow. And rather than jumping topic to topic, although we will go through multiple topics, I want to keep it more exploratory and really, really go deeper on topics and really try and like learn new things that me and Nathan haven't come up with before in a way. So like, is it with the audio good?
Yeah, the audio's all good. I'm just
Okay.
double checking
Okay,
things
cool.
because I get scared sometimes.
Yeah.
Expository.
Exploratory,
Expository?
not expository.
Exploratory?
Exploratory.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is an exploratory podcast.
Well, I'm hoping that we can actually find a few gems.
Yeah.
Because it felt like before maybe we're kind of on this like rigid track, and although we'll go a little bit off the track,
There were some gems.
I want to keep it. I want to go off road.
Okay, we're going to be exploring things. We're going to be getting into some. We're going to be going to some dark places, but also some very happy places. Or what do you reckon?
I think we're gonna go. We're gonna fall down a few holes, go down a few rabbit holes that maybe don't lead anywhere. Some dead ends.
We'll literally just be going. All right, that's the end of that one. So, Curtis, what do you want to talk about now?
Yeah, I mean that might happen.
Yeah.
So let's just play around. So where I wanted to kick it off to start our adventure today.
Okay, this is the adventure we'll start with.
The adventure.
Let's actually do it as a challenge. Let's see if we can just
riff off one thing.
one thing.
Okay, we'll see where we go from here. So it's kind of like Rick and Morty. You know, Rick and Morty, they start off their adventure and they just have this like crazy
They never
adventure.
know where they're gonna go.
Yeah. So there was a Reddit post about those. It was something about the high level NALCS. They have those in-houses at the moment, where like all the pro players and the amateur players and the academy players.
It's all getting streamed. Everyone's excited about it.
Yeah, Core
and stuff.
JJ runs these in-houses.
Yeah.
And we already had our concerns about in-houses, even at the highest level, because of the way they affected solo queue. But now I saw a Reddit post from this guy saying, all excited, we're trying to improve NA competitiveness and like develop more talent and all this shit. And we're doing now in-houses for people that are platinum and above, all the way from platinum to like master or grandmaster, for anyone to join. Kind of like the pug system in like other Counter-Strike and other FPSs.
Yeah.
And it's got me thinking. I was like,
I need to compose myself on this one, Curtis. Like we can deconstruct this for like
there are so many.
We can
things
deconstruct the psychology about it, the mindset, why it's good, why it's bad, the facts, misconceptions.
Okay, we got to come in with this with an open mind.
I'm trying. That's why I got to compose myself. Yeah,
because my
initial reaction is just anger. For some reason.
Me too.
You know?
Me too. My initial reaction was anger.
Was this a Reddit post?
It was a Reddit post.
And you have a big problem with Reddit because you say it's just an echo chamber, right?
That's correct. So, I mean, that's another whole thing. Like, we'll get to that later. But
okay.
So, initial thoughts. Let's clarify that. What does this look like? For those of you who don't know.
What an in-house is.
What is an in-house, Nathan?
An in-house is essentially custom game. So instead of going through the solo queue and stuff, you set up a custom game. Hey everyone, come join my custom game here. They'll send like a little password or something, sort of protect the lobby. They do some sort of like, like in school, how you everyone lines up. It's like fence. You got to pick your team, and then I pick him. There's two captains. I pick him. And then the guy that gets last, which was usually me because I wasn't very athletic back in the days.
And there's comms in these as well. Remember?
Yeah. So and comms, and it's like they
do a proper draft phase and everything.
Yeah. So it's like a professionalized, like
actual more like scrims, but you're like kind of picking a team based off, and you see everyone's ranks and stuff. So it's not like you get a rank discrepancy. Yeah.
So the idea is that so pro players do it because they feel like that it's better practice than solo getting one tricks and streamers and people not trying. Is that really what it's?
I think it's they want to increase the intensity, so they want to have all the people who really want to try,
like all pro players and stuff.
Yeah, pro players who really want to focus on, and not verse like the one tricks and the streamers and get the AFKs and trolls and things like that. They want to just avoid all that shit. Which, to a certain extent, I could see that for pro players.
Absolutely,
pro players, it kind of makes sense. But it's a whole different ball game with an amateur player or any other player that isn't already a challenger.
This is plat players now.
Diamond, master. You should. Anyone below challenger, in my opinion, should not be competing in these things. Okay, so let's deconstruct this. Let's start by talking about. Actually, let's go the other way round.
Okay.
Let's start by talking about what the potential advantages would be.
So this is struggling for me already, Curtis.
No, because this is what Eric Weinstein does. One of my favorite intellectuals. He will steel man the other person's argument rather than straw manning.
Yeah.
Let's steel man their argument. Let's actually make it as strong as possible and get all the benefits out there for these guys. Okay.
So they're playing in higher intensity games. Can we even say that?
Can you even say that? I don't think we can make that conclusion.
Well, let's go to that one.
Well, I think what we can say is that you're definitely not going to get any AFKs.
Okay,
no one's off roll. Trolls.
No one's off roll.
Okay, no one's off roll. That's a big one. You get your main roll every single time. That's a big one.
Yeah, there are no trolls.
And no trolls and AFKs.
I would say you definitely can't say that people don't stop trying, because even at professional level scrims, people stop trying out, if they start losing
Definitely.
lanes, so that can't be
I would
it.
say you get less toxicity,
Yeah.
although there will be toxicity.
Well,
But
because then you
less
get
of it.
you get kicked out of the I mean, I don't know
I'm
how it
assuming
works.
so. I'm assuming there's some form of rules that you would have to follow to be involved in it. So
Yeah.
let's just say there's less toxicity. I'm assuming the queue times are probably maybe better. The whole process maybe is a little bit smoother.
I don't think at all. I think there's no.
Could be longer.
Think about it. Like, by the time you get there, pick teams. There's no way you could say that. I mean, okay, wait, were you still in the platinum diamond?
Yeah, let's get
area?
more specific here. Let's
Or
say
in the challenger?
diamond platinum.
So challenger makes sense because there's queue times you would easily be.
Yeah.
Thing, but like
But diamond,
platinum,
master, you probably even.
So I'd say again in that scenario, it's sloppier to set up.
Okay.
It's not a nice little queue system where you press play and you're in this ranked, and then the system does it for you.
Well, I think the other benefit of it is that you can't afford to be a one trick, and it forces you to expand your pool
Yep.
in a way.
Yeah, 'cause they'll
but
just
there's
bang you
obvious
out.
disadvantage of that as well, though. We'll get to in a second.
Okay.
Is there anything? What else are we missing? And we can always come back to this and think of more as we think of more advantages here. That's all. I mean, that's it for me so far. I don't really have anything else here.
I guess you could maybe like. Is it more of a you can review like together or something, or like you have more incentivized to review because it's like again it's like everyone's trying hard.
Right. So
or
you got like
something.
5 views. You could actually have like a team review.
Yeah, you can have like team review or like
Okay. You could definitely say that you would learn more
there's
about
coaches.
comms.
There's coaches as well for the high elo ones.
The high elo ones.
Yeah,
I don't know
so
about these ones, but
Yeah.
you definitely get to get better, improve your comms, and potentially even improve your understanding of other roles, because you could talk to that jungler or that top laner
Yeah.
after the game about why. I mean, assuming that the review went as good as we think it could, asking good quality questions if that were to even happen.
Yeah.
Like, why did this happen, and really get aligned and really have good quality review. That is possible. I think the quality of the review could be higher, potentially. I feel like there's room for it at least. Whether or not that happened is a completely different story.
That's right. There's room for it.
it.
You can make friends,
You could build relationships for sure.
build relationships,
Um,
find like a duo buddy.
it could even be a faster way of getting exposed, even though that's not the way people would view it. But
Yeah.
think about it. There's no one else to blame but you, in a way. Because think about before some of the narratives that people have. It's like, I'm the rank I am because the matchmaking's unbalanced. I get one tricks. I get trolls. I get AFKs. There's so many toxic people. That doesn't exist anymore.
Curtis, are you sure? I don't know about this one. Because you could say this is like look at the teammates like on my team, like they let's say they had a one trick or something like that. You still could. I don't think that's gone at
Okay.
all. If anything, in a way, I think it's amplified because you're with comms and stuff. You could say like that person stuff like they misinformation. They said someone had flash where it didn't have it, or like
I mean, jungle diff is still going to be jungle diff.
yeah,
right?
jungle diff, jungle diff. That's right.
That's true.
I don't think I think it's the opposite.
Yeah, or because you get but I'm saying you get exposed more, which could actually make you more angry and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go into the disadvantages now. We spoke a little. We've tried to steel man their
I
argument.
struggled so hard there.
I did struggle. We'll probably come back.
We
to
will
that.
be. We basically listed negatives with those positives because we're so on the negatives of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's actually go. Let's even go a deeper level here. Let's try and construct Let's break down what the purpose of solo queue is. What is the purpose of solo queue?
What is the purpose of solo queue? The purpose of solo queue is to play a League of Legends game.
Okay, to do what? Play League of Legends to do what?
Play a League of Legends game, so you're essentially competing. So solo queue, the rank system, you're competing against players the same skill level as you.
In order to improve your level of play. Oh no, your
climb
objective
the
is to
ladder.
win.
Yeah, to climb the ladder.
To climb the ladder. To
You're
get better.
like on this journey.
Because
like
the
photo
ladder
thing.
is a representation, in theory, of your level of
your
play.
skill. Yep.
Okay. Now, most people who want to play solo queue don't really play for fun. They want to improve. They genuinely want to improve their level of play. I reckon we can make that statement. Majority of players want to play solo queue to improve, climb the ranks, and get better at the game,
Yeah.
right?
Wait, so solo queue, maybe you could say it like this. Solo queue is a platform for you to show your League of Legends skill. So it's like, I'm silver, you're bronze, that means I'm better than you.
That's correct.
You're-
It is in a way, is it?
It's like a system.
It's great. It is the ELO system. It is a system.
Yeah.
The rank system. Okay. Now, if we were to compare that with in-houses, how does this differ? It's still is it still a similar system where there is an ELO system and stuff, I'm pretty sure, in the in-houses. They track the stats and there's an ELO system, your wins and losses and things like that.
So how does that work? Is that manually recorded or is it all automated?
I'm unsure. I believe you can have some automated. The advanced ones do have some automated. It's like pug systems.
Yeah.
It's all automated.
Interesting.
That's right. So that all exists still.
Okay.
Or the best ones should. And we're gonna let's compare this as if we're talking about a great quality in-house system. We're not talking about a shit one. We're talking about if it were to be done properly,
best
case scenario. Done a fully automated pug system. There's ELO. It records all your stats.
So you're essentially saying the queue thing is the same as solo queue.
That's what it was like in pugs and Counter-Strike.
Okay.
You could just queue up.
Yeah.
That's correct.
But how is that pugs? But anyone can queue. Oh no, but like how does that work? Because this is an invite thing, right?
Anyone can join.
But isn't pugs? Anyone can join.
Anyone can join.
That's not how the in-houses work in high elo.
This one, yeah, you got to be able to prove your rank, and you can just join. This is what it was.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Oh, so wait, so for CS you would say that I'm global elite or something like that. So then,
well, in pugs there was varying levels to it. I believe there's varying levels to it, and you'd get like an MMR in the pug system, and then you would pop into different ranks.
Yeah, so I'm saying, how's that different from solo queue? I'm really confused here.
Because the people that are one tricks and trolls should in theory wouldn't want to do this. That's the theory. I'm pretty sure this is how this works. And again, that's what I'm confused about. Is what is the purpose of
what
this?
do you mean? That's of course they're going to still do that. Dude. They want to be part of the cool club. Everyone wants to be part of the cool club. The in-houses is the cool club.
I don't think you can be a one trick and join the pugs.
Oh, so you just won't? You get denied.
I mean, you just get banned out. So why would you play?
Okay.
I don't think it makes sense for a one trick to play that mode.
Okay.
Would it not?
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make sense. It's not going to.
But what's even wrong with versing a one trick?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, let me get into that as well.
Like, this is my problem with the whole. Okay, we're getting a bit off track here. And this is the dangers of doing it this way. We're going a bit. We're getting a bit. We're in the weeds right now.
We have to backtrack on some stuff. So let's backtrack go into the negatives, okay?
Okay, because I'm booming right now. I mean, I'm trying to figure this out.
All right, so the other negatives.
Okay, let's just clarify. Does the pug system work like Counter-Strike, or is it a different system where you see a lobby of people? Actually, no. I'm going to explain to you my Counter-Strike pug experience. Okay, this is what it used to be like. Okay. So there was, okay, I'm going to try and remember this. There was like a little website browser and you could click in it and then you could like queue up. And then what would happen is that you'd like pop into this thing and then you would all join the server. So it would pick 10 players, right? Then you would all join the server and then there'd be 2 captains and then the captains would pick the players in the game.
But they only had those 10 people to choose from.
That's correct. But that wouldn't really work for League because you use roles. But in Counter-Strike, there's no roles. That's the way it worked in Counter-Strike, though. And I believe, if I can remember correctly, it was a knife fight between the 2 captains to see who picked first. And then they would go through and pick the players. And then sometimes, actually, they would let more than 10 people come in, like 12, and then 2 people just wouldn't get a team. That would also happen as well. I don't know why that was the case. Maybe this was just this is the one pug system I use. Maybe this is not representative of the way pugs are done in other games and League. So the question is, with this in-house system, is it a matter of, okay, these are all the people that are online. There's a lobby, there's a game opened up now. Is it the first to join? Is there captains? How does this work? And to be honest, does this even matter? I don't think it really matters at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, it's still organized play. You're in comms. You're playing. There's an MMR system. The nitty-gritty doesn't really matter how they pick the teams, does it? Doesn't matter at all. Okay, so let's just say the pug, or the way these in-houses work, it's organized play. There's an MMR. The upsides, you get your role every single time.
Yeah.
In theory, there's less trolls.
Yeah.
There's no AFKs.
Yeah.
There's, in theory, no one tricks because if you're one trick, you'll get insta-banned anyway, so there's literally no point doing it. So in theory, there's more intensity, you get to practice your comms, and it's a little bit more structured.
Okay, so the other negatives as well is that who decides who bans people?
Bans what? Like you mean from toxicity?
Yeah, or not let someone in. Who decides that?
The tournament, the organisers, the people who run the in-houses.
So that could get messy.
That could get messy.
Because, you know,
that could potentially get messy. Okay.
it's like you're the judge.
Now, this stuff
jury,
doesn't really
executioner.
matter. I want to get into the league-specific stuff now from this. Well, what are the disadvantages, the main disadvantages?
I think there's no disadvantage now. You've sold me. It's like, it's just the way you're describing it is too perfect.
Okay, this is my
No,
reason.
'cause
one tricks are good,
Okay.
diverse.
Yeah.
Because they are genuine, they've championed mastery, and you can learn from them. I think one tricks, in a way, yes, they're annoying if they get banned out. That's the problem. If they get banned, it's a pain in the dick.
Yeah, when it's on your team.
When
right?
it's on you, it's a
Yeah.
pain in the dick. But if you verse a one trick, like you actually learn a lot about that champion, and you can, like, in a weird way, even pros and people in Korean solo queue talk about this. You don't ban the one. Z99 gets Z every game. Have you realized that?
Is it really
He barely has to dodge. They just let him get Z.
fascinating?
What's your stream? No one bans Z, even though he streams.
Because everyone thinks it's just a shit shit.
Oh yeah, they want to verse it probably. I don't know. I mean, he just gets it every time.
I mean, there's a part of it. I think that Zed's just not worth a ban. But I guess he's a one trick, so it's like it makes sense because he
the
was
theory
just
still
free win.
stands that you could just ban it,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
No one banned. They just let him play it.
Yeah.
There's an element of like you can genuinely learn from one tricks. Okay, I would say the other thing or the main disadvantage is that being on comms severely ruins your chances or your ability to improve as an individual. Okay, now let's deconstruct this one because this is a very controversial topic. Okay,
Yep.
the theory I have is that the reason solo queue is so important is because it's all on you. You don't get any help from anyone. You are forced to have insane awareness of what else is going on the map. You are forced to stay focused for extended periods of time because if you slip up once, the top laner comes mid and you die to that gank, okay, you're dead. That could be all it takes to lose the game.
Yep.
Now, if in these pugs or these clashes, you're going to get people's when you say clashes, these pug systems, in-houses, your top lane is probably going to call missing most games. Your support's probably going to track the enemy support. Your jungler is going to be telling you where the jungler started and where they're pathing and give you all this information. If you didn't use your wards properly, you could probably even say, "Hey, man, can you come put a pink in river for me?" That you can compensate for weaknesses, or people can compensate for information you're not currently able to process.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on this?
Um.
And think of it from a jungler's perspective. How would this alter you as a jungler? Information, maybe laners give you information or something like that.
I mean, it's hard to say. Like for me, I don't want people giving me information. Like I can figure it out. Like you want to be the one asking the questions. I mean, okay, so your thing is sort of saying that you can get compensated for. So it's like, let's say I'm walking somewhere and I don't know if it's watered. This person can now tell me if it's water or not. Versus I would have had to figure that out in solo queue.
That's
right?
correct.
So that's the most obvious situation.
You literally, it's like Dragon Ball Z, the hyperbolic time chamber or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? It's like that guy trains in, or the high gravity place where it's like he trains where the gravity is like super, is it high or low? High.
Yeah.
Where he gains heaps of muscle.
Yeah.
Because like it's really, really hard. Like you're straining yourself. You're putting yourself in a much tougher environment.
Yeah.
So when you do go into,
back to the real world where there's normal gravity.
or you go into like Clash or you go into competitive or you go into high elo, like, because I got a feeling that these people that perform well in pugs, these in-houses, they will perform worse in solo queue in some instances. Think about that. They're going from being used to getting everything communicated to them.
You see, I can't get past that, Curtis. Like again, I view league communication most of the time as
it's like a negative, right?
just not helpful at all. It's the opposite. It's unhelpful because everyone gets all excited. Like they're in a team, it's like because in their mind, it's like you got to communicate a lot, but we know that like the less you communicate is actually better.
Expand on that.
The
way you're talking to me right now is are you thinking like League is a single player game?
Okay, so you can get good at communication for League, but again, you need to be good individually first to even bother about that. I mean, maybe I'm thinking too much in terms of like a pro level because like a platinum player may not want to be a pro level, and then like they just want to do these in-house. But then you wouldn't want to do these in-houses. You want to be doing
Yeah.
Clash and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fine. So
Maybe there is a benefit of doing these in-houses if you just want to play Clash only. Imagine if you just wanted to bypass solo queue completely, and you only ever like the only reason you play solo queue was to improve at Clash. You could probably even get better at Clash by doing this because you're only playing in a team environment. Potentially, I reckon there's a case for that.
no, I disagree. Because in League, I'm still on the thing you can't improve if you're in a team environment.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it doesn't make sense when I say that, does it?
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, and it's frustrating to even say that, or articulate it.
Before you said something super interesting. You said communication is actually just like you said something about communication being bad or something like that. You said something along those
Not
lines.
helpful.
Not helpful. That's right.
Yeah.
Now, are you making that statement because you genuinely believe communication at all levels to be bad, or is it that like
experience and also just from what I've heard?
Because what I'm getting at here, Nathan, and what might be interesting and something we need to explore is maybe we are only having these experiences now with communication because of how new the game is.
So in like 20 years time or whatever, then everyone will be so much better at communication.
Maybe that
like to be a platinum player, you'd be already have so much information and knowledge that you could just
exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe like we're just at this level now. We only view communication in this negative light purely because of how poor the communication is. Like what we view as communication now in League of Legends. Let's actually get into that. Then what is communication?
Well, what's poor communication?
Yeah.
So in my mind, poor communication is actually saying a lot of unnecessary information. So oversaying. So the worst thing that I say in my experiences is when people just the comms are all cluttered and everyone's saying stuff because they feel like I'm saying stuff. It's working.
You go into an amateur scrim, or like you said those in-houses.
It gets me anxious.
It's like this. It's like. Oh, we're heavy training. I want you to go to this. We need water here. Jungle, we're heavy training bot. Can you come bot? We're winning Trey's bot. Like it's just constant fucking info of information.
It makes me anxious to listen to.
It's intense. I'm getting pumped up now just saying it, right?
Yeah.
When in reality, in a perfect world, the most funny thing, go to Suning. And there's some team fights of Suning's comms where it actually shows their comms during team fights. And there's a really intense fight where SOFM is like playing Lee Sin and doing all this crazy shit.
That, yeah.
And he says like, 2 words.
I don't think he says anything.
He doesn't, he basically says nothing.
Yeah.
He's dead silent the entire time.
Yeah.
Free flow, because they're letting people absorb the information. There's nothing to be said here.
Well, also as well, you need to focus. You can't be speaking like these are very mechanically intensive things. You can't even concentrate to talk.
In my opinion, at the highest level, it should be if you're playing at that level, your job. Okay, let's just say you start within a team environment. I could see how at the beginning you're gonna have cluttered comms. Your goal as a team should be, how can we replicate this, but say it or get to this level with a tenth of the amount of communication or words that we've just said? Going from, we need to do this, blah, 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 to literally like a word or a single word or like 2 words. Like you want as little communication as possible so that comms aren't cluttered and people can just think really. And in my opinion, high level communication should just be not if or can we or if
That's
or
right.
it should be
none of those
I'm
statements.
doing this.
Yeah.
So this is the way I view high level communication in mid laner. Even in these in-houses, this is what it should be. And it could get to this level where you say something like, I'm going to invade. Let's invade the enemy blue buff at 7 minutes, or I'm invading. I'm shoving this and diving bot.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now what happens is then it's up to the people in that lane who that play concerns to say no. They say yes or no. So it's like all the mid laner says is I'm doing this, and then the AD carrier or support or the jungler says no.
And then
or yes,
back off.
and then it's back off.
Yeah.
They don't say why or anything. It's just no.
No.
Or they say yes, and I'm coming. Yep, on my way. And then so the beauty of that, and the reason that is so important, and this is my theory. I mean, this is a theory. This is my theory on communication so far in League of Legends, is that this way, let's just say you get into the review then, and you review this call that the mid lane said, I'm diving bot on this wave. And the jungler says, okay, I'm coming here as well. and they go together, and the dive fails. The great thing about that is that you know who called that play, you know who's responsible, and the mid laner can actually go into the review and look at the variables that he considered that made him make that play. And he can learn. He can actually learn from that experience. But if he were to say this instead, let's say the mid laner said, "Oh, can we dive bot? Hey Nathan, can we dive bot? What, like, you know, or bot lane? Do you reckon we can dive bot? Like," and then, you know, they have this little communication, this thing, and then you go into the review, and the quality of the review, it can still be quite fine if you ask good quality questions, but that painful experience that the mid laner is going to have is nowhere near as painful as it's going to be if he were to make that call and be totally responsible for it.
Yeah,
that's my
right.
theory.
You're right. You're spot on.
I mean, maybe that's not even the right way to do it. Maybe League of Legends players right now are so primitive that we can't actually talk and play at the same time. But in 10 years from now, the players are going to be so advanced that playing and talking is just a given. Like, you could just do it. Do you reckon that's also something that could happen in the future?
I mean, when you say that, I'm instantly thinking, again, for some reason, humans have evolved their level of communicate. Like, no, I actually don't think that's going to be the case. Like, this is another thing as well. I can't see, like a lot of the issues of Platinum and stuff like that, Curtis, Diamond, is like everyone has a lot of game knowledge now, right? It's about mental stuff, you know, like, and like just trying really hard, having like good form in your games. And I mean, game knowledge is an aspect of it, but like, I don't know. I don't see it improving that much.
Okay. Let's we're in a bit of a hole now. Let's dig ourselves out. Let's reframe the question.
Let's reframe.
Okay.
Yeah.
The average, let's take Diamond 4, for example.
Okay.
What will a Diamond 4 player learn more within a academy, like an in-house game versus a solo queue game? What will they learn more? Let's steelman this. What would they learn more in an in-house situation? A Diamond 4 jungler or a Diamond 4 mid laner? From a mid laner's perspective, I could maybe see this potentially helping them facilitate better roaming and learning their jungle and getting better at jungle tracking, potentially, because they could get into the review with their jungler after the game and talking about jungle pathing.
Yeah,
they could also, because the game is much less lane oriented, more map oriented, they could get better at roaming and diving, and I could even see maybe their skirmishing and team fighting even getting better.
So that would be my initial reaction for jungle, is that there's like some team fight happening, and like let's say ADC is very fed, and the ADC gets caught by something and dies where you should have actually been looking to peel, right? You in solo queue, I could easily see someone saying like, "Oh, like,
I can't trust my AD carry."
Yeah, I can't trust. But then that person's like, "Oh, like I really need help. Like I need like," and then in the future team fight, because you guys can actually communicate that and say, "Hey, jungler, I need peel here. I need you to be thinking to peel me here." Then that's when I could say it's beneficial. And then you're actually understanding your role in team fights a little bit better. That's one thing.
I mean, you know what's interesting, and this is a little bit of a tangent point here, but I think it's tied to it, is a great solo queue player will always be good at in-houses, where a great in-house player doesn't necessarily mean you'll be good at solo queue. How interesting is that? Yeah. And it's the same thing I view of roles. A great mid laner can basically always be a good support player, but a good support player can't always be a good mid laner. Because the skills you learn don't overlap in support going to mid lane, but the mid lane to support, they do.
It's like everyone that you see as well in flex, like Challenger flex. If you go to their rank, they're all Diamond 1, Diamond 2.
Yeah, the Challenger flex players are all bad at solo queue.
Top 10.
There's a different skill set. But not even a different skill set, because Challenger, solo queue means you get Challenger and flex queue every time.
Yeah. Wait, sorry, say that again. Sorry, Challenger.
So if you're Challenger in solo queue,
you'll go
means you get Challenger and flex queue guaranteed.
That's right, yeah.
But Challenger flex queue doesn't mean Challenger solo queue.
That's such a good example right there.
Yeah.
That just says right there.
Doesn't that just mean something? That has to mean something.
Yeah.
And I think it, you know, to be honest, in-houses can even push that toxic narrative where
this is my most dangerous thing.
I'm a competitive player.
Yeah, I'm a competitive player.
Oh, I hate that so much.
I just like want to be playing with like my team. Like my strength is communication.
Oh.
Okay, that might be the case, but
it's not the way you should be thinking regardless. Okay, you can accept that as a strength, but you can't rely on it.
No, you can't. That's right. Yeah.
It's a strength?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be so inconsistent.
Like, okay.
Because there's certain points in League, Curtis, no matter where you no longer, your communication is no longer useful because your character is just useless. You get behind. The situation for me, like let's say we've done some Clash games where I just shut off because I can't do anything anymore. Like there's a lot of difference from my communication when I'm ahead and when I'm behind, right? So if I was the great, awesome communicative leader, it's all gone because I'm really far behind. I can't do, like, let's say I'm playing Olaf, right?
Nah, I don't think that's the case. I mean, okay, I think it's one element of it because this is where you go deeper on communication. Because
Okay.
I think there's communication from ahead,
Yeah.
where you're like the playmaker, the shot call. You're actually saying, like, as a jungler anyway. When
But
you're
that
ahead.
person that's ahead will change every game, right?
No, but if you're a great communicator, you can communicate from behind and ahead. Remember, Jono spoke about you still have a responsibility when behind to communicate things when you're behind.
Yeah, okay.
Although the person who's ahead should be communicating the most, saying what they want because they're the carry, you should still be giving information in a way. That's what Jono used to say.
Okay, I guess you can give information.
There's still things you can do.
Yeah, okay, there is. Oh, yeah, I mean, for some
'Cause
reason...
maybe that's a skill you just don't have because you haven't played in-houses enough. You've only played solo queue.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, part of it when I think about... so I've got a perception right there that good communication means talking a lot, but that's not the case again. Good communication could be saying less.
Good communication. Okay, let's actually think about it. The
effective.
purpose of communication is to increase the quality of decisions made in the game.
Yeah.
Increase the quality of decisions in the game to increase your chances of winning the game. Okay, so better quality decisions means you're increasing the chances or the likelihood of winning situations coming about,
Yeah.
which means you're increasing the chance of winning the game.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't actually, it's all theories. We don't know what is meant to be said in a specific situation. You know, and the military, take military for example. Military are in the real world, they are masters of communication. They know exactly how to communicate because they've had hundreds of years.
And they have like code words,
Code
short
words.
things.
They know how to be short, sharp, concise, and know exactly what to say. Like, even like pilots. Think of pilots. You know, when there's remember watching that movie? What was that movie where it was the guy in the what's that? The tower, the airplane tower.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
And he was like the communication, how clear and short.
Yeah.
What was saying how cool this was?
Yeah.
What movie was that? That was Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, wasn't it?
Breaking
Yeah,
Bad.
yeah.
There was that scene where that guy's
Yeah.
in the airplane
control room.
and
Yeah.
he's like saying all these coordinates, saying
Yeah.
airplane, XYZ, location. I don't know what he was saying, but it was
Yeah.
like really amazing communication.
Short,
I'm
sharp,
like,
no emotion,
so logical.
very clear.
Every word meant an action.
Okay, so maybe like now I'm thinking, what if I just like made a channel just only teaching communication?
That'd be so cool, eh?
And then like you came up with some sort of system, like where you come up with all these code words and stuff like that. And you have like this beautiful, perfect system. But again, that probably wouldn't matter because you could
This
use
doesn't
a
matter
lot.
to the pro level anyway, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
Maybe you could use it with a Clash team, but... Oh, I mean, okay, Nathan, we are so... If you realize how biased we are...
Yeah, we're super. I mean, I just straight up like I'm in my because I have had so many bad communications, listening to comms and scrims for years.
No, Nathan, this is not where our bias comes from.
Where's it?
Our bias comes from a disrespect...
Yeah.
A disrespect of the players that only want to be good in a team environment.
Okay.
So think about it. When you see...
And the disrespect comes because I just know that you're not going to beat.
You're not going to be a good player.
Yeah.
But Nathan, we have to remember, not everyone wants to be the best
And
player.
that's right. No, everyone.
They
wants
just
to
want
be
to
the
have
best player.
fun in their Clash games.
They could
That's
just
what
be
we have to realize.
a better Clash player.
That
through
we have to get
communication.
across that, Nathan. We're being so close-minded.
Yeah.
Like we think in a way where if you don't want to be the best possible solo queue player, for some reason we think it's not justify. You can't justify. We can't have a goal to just be a great Clash player or be a great Clash team without being a good solo queue player.
That's right.
You can't.
No, because bias is fair. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, this is what I work. We're always trying to push the limits, the boundaries. We always want people to help them improve. You know?
Well, I think the reason we feel like one of the reasons I feel like this anyway is that I believe that's the reason they don't want to be good at solo queue is because they've told themselves a story that why they shouldn't be good at solo queue because it's too painful.
Yeah.
When they would have more fun at the game if they actually viewed solo queue the correct way. Or had a more healthy relationship with solo
and
queue.
that's why I'm so passionate about this because I know that from what I again experience, you could come up with this whole thing saying Nathan and Curtis, you guys are wrong. Like I view it this way and stuff like that. I know 99% of things that I see, I just instantly think this is self-sabotaging behavior right here. This is, you're actually telling me one thing, but really you're not, there's all these things you're not saying right here.
So would you say this is comparable to gymming in real life, right? So you see, you get those people who don't go, they refuse to go to the gym.
Okay.
And they do everything else but gym. Maybe they run.
Yeah.
They'll do like at home, in home, like body weight exercises. They'll go cycling. They'll do all this stuff. But like, is this just maybe like is pretending to themselves that they don't need to go to the gym when they'll just get better results if they just went to the gym and got a trainer?
Okay.
Is that comparable? Are there those people? Because I felt like that for me. I did everything else but for gym for so long.
Yeah, man, me too as well.
And I would come up with things in my mind saying, it's fine. I can still be healthy doing this in-home shit. But I knew if I realized how great gym was and I got a trainer and things like that.
That's true. I think it's a thing because, because we've been recently going to the gym like 4 days a week now.
Yeah.
And we're having a blast, man.
It's so fun as well.
Way more funner than I thought it was just misery before, you know?
Because you know what this all ties into? And this is a whole nother tangent point, but we'll probably have to come back to the scrim thing, which is how do we better our relationship with solo queue? How do we have a healthier relationship with solo queue?
Yeah.
It's a great question.
It's a great question.
And
it's an important question.
And it's an important question, but it also ties because it reminded me, how do you have a better relationship with the gym? How do you have a healthier relationship with the gym? Okay, let's use your experience, Nathan. To clarify here, so I had been with the gym. I started really going to the gym pretty hardcore late last year.
It's like November when we came back from Sydney.
So when I started my channel, basically around that time.
Yep.
And I was lucky because went back home. I lived back home with my parents, and my brother was at home, and he is a big gym dude. And I went to the gym with him every day, like a lot, like 5 days a week, and I learned everything from him. He was a big healthy advocate, gym bodybuilder, whatever, and I learned everything from him. And I had that invisible. I had so much shit to overcome mentally to go to the gym. Like I hated it at the start. Like I was scared. I was self-conscious. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I had no body strength, like all this stuff. Okay. Then I grinded it and I got very confident and it became a part of me. It's a part of who I am now. It's not about if I go to the gym. It's just do it. I just do it. I have to. It just feels natural to me. And the benefits of it are so big that I can't envision my life any other way. It's just who I am. Now, I've been telling Nathan for a long period of time that you need to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because again, I was that guy going for runs. I run and like try to do body
and shit like that,
body weight exercises and stuff like that. And then,
and I always told him, right?
Yeah. I think that part of it as well was I saw the results with you. Okay. Yeah. So it's like yeah. Imagine if because now I'm thinking it as well. It's like, a lot of these like people that in these teams, they don't really have friends that are high elo players or something like that. Like let's say use the analogy for me and you. It's like I saw you get these results, and I know you. It's like oh, if Kurz can do that,
I can do it too.
I reckon I can do that too.
Yeah.
You know.
So tell me about it. Tell me about your relationship with the gym and how has it changed over the past 2 weeks.
Well, it's been a blast, man.
Well, let's get specific. Don't just say it's a blast. Let's get specific.
Well, it's like you're learning something new.
Okay. Tell us about the first day you walked into the gym. What was the mentality you had?
I had no expectations.
Okay.
I wanted to see how, I was actually really curious to see how I differed from you.
Okay.
Because you kept on going and seeing how weak you were and stuff like that.
Yep.
Because you hadn't been to the gym for like, 6-7 months.
Yep.
So I was super curious of that. And then I was just fascinated by it. I was fascinated by the people in there.
Yep.
I was like, what's the type of people? It's like, I was trying to like categorize everyone. It's like, oh, that guy's been here, goes to the gym a lot.
Yeah.
Based on his body's figure.
Yeah.
These people look like they're new. These people are like as skinny as me. And then, but I was just listening to you. You're like my instructor, dude. You was like a personal trainer.
Yeah.
It was easy, dude.
Yeah.
But again, I wouldn't have been going if it wasn't for having a friend that would teach you the ropes.
So how has your relationship with gym now changed? The way you viewed it before you did it and then as you got into it?
Well, now it's like,
how do you view it?
you just got to do it, man.
You have that mentality.
Yeah.
So you think that after 2 weeks, would you say if I just disappeared, say I just get ran over, I'm just done, right?
Yeah.
And you have to like live by yourself.
Yeah.
Are you at the stage where in 2 weeks you've already kind of built that view of the gym, or how? Like, just be honest here. Like, how? Do you...
I could definitely see myself not going if I was like injured, because you know how like we went this week, like
You're
I wouldn't have gone that
Right.
leg day because my legs were gone.
Yeah.
But I think I would still just have a crack because I mean I have a sort of a pretty good idea about
So
the
you kind of
exercises now.
you broke through
Yeah.
your view of the gym.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
I know which machines to go on to and stuff like that,
Okay.
and like what things. I mean, I'm probably still not confident enough to do anything well. Like I'll just fuck up for like 2 months. It'll be so slow
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Okay. Now, how does this compare then to solo queue? People's relationship with solo queue.
Well, gym's different because, I mean, people have negative relationship because of like their teammates. You know, we said in last episode with Jono, people go into solo queue like knowing they're gonna have a negative experience and hating it because of all the bad experiences of teammates.
Man.
How's
I
that
think
similar?
people think
I
when they
guess
go
it
to the
is,
gym, it's
isn't
like, this is going to be shocking. Like, I'm going to be in pain. I'm going to have no idea what to do. I'm going to be embarrassed.
Okay,
People are going to look at me. I'm like fat hanging off my shirt. Like, there's going to be all these people with six packs
guess
everywhere.
you're right.
Dude, people have insane negative view of the gym.
Okay.
I mean, I could understand that.
Yeah, I guess
You know
you're
what
right.
I thought when I first went to the gym? I thought everyone was going to be like staring at me or like just comparing how weak I was to them. Like I thought there would just be these gym junkies in there that just like look at me like just when I first started just dick all weight, and they're just gonna like kind of just stare at me and
That's so interesting.
because I was just so self conscious about
The
it.
way that I view that is like they at the end of the day they were me, dude.
No, but for some reason in my mind, I thought I was too late.
Oh, okay. So you said you thought you were too late.
So I thought
that's never crossed my mind once.
That was my one. I was like, I'm
Fascinating.
24. I'm 24, and I'm too late.
Yeah.
I was too late. I should have entered the gym when I'm 18. Now my time's passed. Like in my mind, because then for some reason I thought that you should already be pretty strong by 24.
So you had like
25.
this expectation. That's interesting. I had zero.
Like I already thought there was a base level of like strength that you need to have at the gym by the time you're 24.
I guess you can relate it to league because we have a bunch of people write into us saying they're 23, 24.
And they have like these toxic expectations.
Well, it's
about
like
their level of play.
yeah. Well, it's like a lot of them say it's like, was it worth to even try to go for challenger or go pro?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like you're always like, was it even worth to get big?
Well, again, okay, let's see. This is another funny comparison. Even if you go to the gym and you don't want to be a pro bodybuilder and you don't even want to
That's
get a
right,
six pack,
exactly right.
The
It's the
process
same,
of going
isn't
to
it?
the gym and getting a little bit more healthy
Yeah.
and
It's beneficial.
Your confidence, the way you view yourself, the discipline required. It's kind of like meditation as well, by the way, going to the gym. It's literally like a form of meditation.
Yeah.
You're just shutting off, you're just letting your energy out. You're just fully focused in the moment, focus on each rep.
Yeah.
Like, you can compare that to league in a way. Like, the process of getting better at league, it helps you in life regardless.
I guess people
don't
don't
need-
view it that way.
People don't view it that way, but it's the case.
Gym has like obvious physical benefits, but league it's just a game.
Okay, but the difference is with league, Nathan, like we said, is that, yeah, you're with 4 other people on your team. And you're already going in like, it's like, screw these guys.
Well, again, but then you're in that mindset of, again, these people are losing me LP versus I'm just going to play to learn and then get better and improve. And it doesn't matter if I win and lose. That's the mindset you need to get to.
Dude, I had this really weird experience where so I've been trying to take at least 2 days off, like a weekend or like at least a day and a half.
Yeah.
I've been trying to force myself to like take days off.
Yeah.
And I know it's maybe people get pissed off on the Discord or whatever, but I'm trying to because I've worked so hard this last year.
Yeah.
Like I'm just trying to now take a day and a half off.
Yeah.
All right.
That's so funny. It's like, I'm just trying to take a day and a half. It's not 2 days. It's like,
Nah, I can't take 2 days. If I take 2 days, my life's done, man.
You're literally thinking like an extra 12 hours. Like you can't take off.
No. Even though it's probably all in my head.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
mentally.
Yeah.
Anyway. And it's not even a day and a half. I was still like on like checking Discord and like check my YouTube comments and shit, even when my day off. But
That's right.
anyway, what else was I saying? Oh yeah, so I like love League. Like when I don't play the game for like a day and a half or like
Yeah.
2 days of solo queue,
Yeah.
I just want to play solo queue, man.
Yeah.
The game is so fun.
Yeah.
And you know what? What's fascinating?
What?
Is that like I've gotten to this point where I just don't give a fuck about like no one could prevent me from having fun in those games.
Yeah.
Like if I play right now, like no, it doesn't matter what happens.
Yeah, what happens, that's
if it's
right.
a 15-minute FF, as long as I don't get literal AFK,
Yeah.
As soon as someone toxic I mute, I can still have fun. Like I'm still gonna have fun. like I'm playing these champs that I just love. Like I'm relearning Fizz and stuff. It's like, I'm like genuinely having fun, having a blast. Isn't it just cool that I've been playing the game for 10 years?
It's pretty nuts.
And I can still have that much fun.
But you've had to rebuild your relationship. I had to rebuild my relationship with the game.
We both have. I mean, I think you always do. I think your relationship with League is kind of like a real relationship.
Yeah.
It doesn't just like, you don't just put in work and then it's just like, you're good.
Yeah.
It's a constant thing.
You need to keep shifting your mindset. You need to keep
Growing.
being disciplined, making sure you're not getting sloppy.
That's a good analogy. What the fuck?
What, the relationship with Lee?
Yeah, it's like a real relationship.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Like I was kind of saying it like willy nilly.
The game changes on you. You have to like make a compromise. It's like, okay, like I'll learn these new items. Okay, like you've changed. I'm gonna change for you. Like I'm gonna help you. It's like that your partner or something has moved like state or something like that, and it's like you gotta like go with them.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like I'll come to this new life with you, because like I care about you.
Well, it's like it's like your relationship with your champions have to change as well.
Yeah.
Like you have partners.
Yeah.
You shift through the partners as
Yeah.
well. Like you have like you've moved on. You went through your phase where you were into like X type of person. Dude, this is awesome. I love this analogy.
You can make a video on this, guy.
You can literally my relationship with League of Legends.
Rebuilding relationship with League of Legends, because again, everyone's got a terrible.
Well,
you know that Rick and Morty episode where they show the relationship with monsters with Jerry and his wife. I forgot what her name is. Remember that episode?
Which episode?
And because they go to the marriage counseling thing,
and
then it shows like the monster.
Ah, that's awesome. Yeah, you can imagine if people could do that with League. So for those of you who haven't seen, Rick and Morty is like this stupid cartoon show. Majority of you have probably heard of it. If you haven't seen it, it is hilarious, and I highly recommend it on Netflix. And there's an episode where it's like this couple, and they go to marriage counseling, and
they're about to get divorced.
They're about to get divorced.
Toxic relationship.
And there's this marriage counseling facility, like in this some planet in the universe, and they're like the expert marriage counselors, and they plug their brain into this machine, and it shows like a hologram of the way you view your partner. Like if you were to view them as like a character or a monster or a figure, whatever comes to your mind when you think of your partner, it shows it. And this guy views his wife as like this like absolute, like looks like Alien versus
Huge
Predator
spider thing.
It's terrifying, and it shows like the way you view them.
Yeah.
And then the wife did it, and then
she viewed him as just like some
pathetic slug. Like he just like mopes around and like says yes, I'll do whatever you say. Yeah. And imagine what that would look like if you were to kind of plug in and your relationship with solo queue. Are we going to be this terrifying monster?
How would you describe yours?
Well, I'll be honest with you, man. I think it really depends on my mood.
Yeah.
And the situation, the champion I'm playing. So sometimes if I'm in a great mood and I've had a great day, I've slept well, I'm pumped, I'm ready to go, I think I'm literally, it'd be this really, healthy looking thing, whatever that may look like.
Like, let's say you're really focused, like it'll be like a lion or something that's
I reckon it'll be
focused.
I reckon it'll just be like a fucking treadmill.
A treadmill.
Yeah. It would look like a treadmill.
Because you're just doing the grind.
Yeah.
It's
me versus machine.
Yeah.
That's the way I'd probably do it.
Interesting.
But when it's not healthy, for me, I've already identified this, and this is probably one of my biggest problems with solo queue. It's less about the randoms. Actually, I would say there's two things that bug me personally about solo queue. One are the people that are very, very delusional about their level of play. Okay. And so they think they are on this insane level when they are just not. And the other one is my own mental block. Sometimes when I first like pro players, like I get in my own head. I'm not thinking about the matchup. I start thinking about them as a player rather than the champion.
Yep.
They're my two like things that kind of bug me. But I would say overall my relationship with solo queue's become much more healthy, and I don't know how I did it.
Me either. I'm trying to think.
How do you actually improve your relationship?
Remember, I was in that hole when I was like stuck in like Diamond 3 and stuff. I would say I had a really bad relationship with solo queue then, but now,
how do you view it now?
Now I'm just like going into the game and like again not too much caring about. I mean, I think that now, because I've had such a big focus on Champion Masters, I'm only playing 3 champs right now,
Yeah.
Eve, Nunu, and Hecarim. I'm just so confident in every game I go into. So I think that helps a lot. I mean, I think it starts with there, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna play this this game the best if I can.
Do you care about losing or winning, like getting LP?
I mean, I'd say I'm a little afraid to lose on my Master Tier account right now, in a way,
Why?
because it's like I wouldn't test new champions on it, type thing.
So you're not confident in your level of play at that level?
No, I am, and I think I can climb. Part of it as well is my Nunu right now, I'm really confident I can climb on, but like Hecarim and Eve, not so much. Like, I feel like I'm gonna struggle to like get past 100 LP for some reason right now. I don't know why that is. It's probably not the case.
So this is fascinating.
Yeah.
That's not a healthy relationship with League.
It's not, no. I'm like going back on one of my other accounts, like, because I want another master account.
Because I roasted people on my video recently.
Yeah.
Why do you have a second account that is not that high? Like, unless you're already challenger and your queue times are just completely boomed, like, I don't understand about why you would need a second account to play a champ that you're not learning.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. No, it's definitely partly queue times as well. I can't lie. There's literally like 30, 40 minute queue times.
In Master.
Yeah. And like, because my days, like, I don't have enough time to play in the days to like
Mm.
consistently grind. Because
Right.
I'm just doing content and stuff like that, right?
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons for it, but I mean, maybe just excuses, but
Right. Yeah, for me, that mine's pure queue time.
yeah.
And I'm learning champions, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
Because that's always confused me. Anyway, so we need to figure this out, Nathan. We have a duty. You know that.
To
we have a duty to
rebuild purpose of relationships or really assess their relationship.
We need to be
with
the
League.
relation. What are the love gurus or
Of
the
League.
relationship
Yeah,
counselors?
yeah.
What do they call them? Marriage counselors of League of Legends.
Yeah.
We need to figure out ways.
League counselor.
Yeah, for people to better their relationship with solo queue.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I do with my coaching and stuff like that. Is like, look, let's stop focusing on our teammates, guys. Let's take responsibility. Like, all the stuff that we talk about in our teammates. This is going to help you build a better relationship with the game.
No, but I think this is okay. This is my problem with me and you coaching. Okay, this is just popped to mind, but this is how I feel.
Yeah.
Because we're so new, and we're even now just figuring out all these problems. We're figuring out these problems that these players have. Because, again, coaching the average player to Grandmaster is very different to a pro player. So I've been coaching pro players only for the past, until this year.
Yeah.
For the past,
Yeah.
3-4 years.
Yep.
Now, what I've realized now is that I'm after this year, I feel like I've identified the problems, a lot of the problems, and I know where they are now and where they need to be, but I don't understand the process step by step to get them from A to B. Okay, if you were to look at this piece of paper, all right, and there's nothing on it, there's like a few points here, but if you were to have one dot on one side of the paper and then a dot on the other side of the paper, the dot on the left hand side would represent, say, where they are now, okay? And now we know that we even know the reason they're there. We know all these problems. We can identify
Specific
these problems.
gameplay problems? Or
It
mental
could be
problems?
gameplay problems,
Yeah.
could be mental problems, could be the way that they view solo queue, could
Yeah.
be they do it. Like, we can know why they are here. Now, we know where they need to be as well, right? We have an idea of where they need to be. But going from this point A to point B, this process in between, we don't know.
Oh, I got no idea.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know.
I don't know why some of my...
So you
like,
said-
the most interesting one is, like, some people that I don't coach at all get insane results from my guides.
Same as me, yeah.
And then some players that I coach, I just struggle. We just get stuck into place for ages.
So maybe our guides fit or solve one of these problems. So the players that have like a gameplay only problem, their mental's actually great. We can get them from point A to point B with the guides. Maybe maybe that's one of the bridges from point A to point B. But you know how you're saying, oh yeah, like take responsibility and don't focus on your teammates. That's not a solution.
No.
That's a problem, and you've got that's the end result. You're a player that doesn't think about their teammates and takes responsibility. How do you get from point A, where they're not taking any responsibility, to point B, where they're taking full responsibility? How do you bridge that gap? What do you need to do specifically? And that's why I don't fucking know. I have no idea.
Yeah, because all I say
I'm
is
just
like,
trying shit. I'm throwing analogies at you. I'm trying
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
but I don't actually know. And that's what I'm trying to figure out, man. That's what we're trying to figure out, aren't we? Because if you think of a marriage counselor, right? This
Yeah.
is why we're so shit.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a marriage counselor.
Yeah.
They will go from, okay, they'll sit you down.
Yeah.
They have a process to follow.
They do, don't they?
You know, they have a process.
Like therapists and stuff like that as well.
We
They
don't know the
get you
process.
it's like they like want you to come up with the answer yourself and stuff like that, and like they ask questions and
Or it's like, you know what you could do on Marriage
Navigate them
Story?
right.
You know in Marriage Story at the start of
Yeah.
that movie where they said, I want you to write write all the things you love about that other person.
Yeah.
And maybe we should get people to write what they love about solo queue or League of Legends.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
What do you love about solo queue?
Yeah.
And you write it all down. So like, I love solo queue because it allows me to see where I'm at, allows me to express my best
Have
self.
fun with my friends. Or
I get
something like
to play verse people that are at my level, test myself, X, Y, Z. Surely there's a bunch of reasons why you love solo queue.
that. Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing. I mean, again, these are all just creative ideas and things that you could do. Yeah, man. We got to find a way. We have to find a way.
To get them from A to B, right?
That's correct.
Some sort of process instead of just saying,
Take
well,
responsibility.
this is what you said. You shouldn't say this.
Well, the way I'm viewing it right now so far is I'm trying to get people to come to their own conclusion through analogies.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to make it click. I'm trying to have allow them to have that oh shit moment.
Yeah.
Like, that,
is-
that moment where you just clicks.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping through my analogies.
Yeah.
Like that train analogy that I had with my recent video with learning champions. I want them to that's the way I view learning a champ. I want them to have that moment. Like, oh my God, that makes so much sense why I've just lost all my confidence and then shit the bed. Okay. Because I went around it the wrong way. Like, I want them to come up with them to come to that conclusion themselves. So we strayed pretty far away, didn't we, from the initial in-houses?
I don't even think we fully said why we didn't even like.
No.
We didn't like them.
So I think maybe we come back to that. Let's go back to where we started.
Okay, so we're back to the start of the episode again.
Yep. Back in time.
So the initial anger for this post about the in-houses, the platinum, but what's your initial reaction?
Well, it doesn't help them improve their relationship with League of Legends. It's solo queue. It's a band-aid solution.
It's a band-aid solution.
It's just a band-aid solution. It's like, okay, I don't agree with it. I'm just going to avoid it altogether.
Solo queue hasn't worked for me. I'm not climbing.
Well, okay. The initial let me rephrase. The first thing that came to mind when I read that post was this is a complete waste of time because you are now getting players where they have key gameplay problems to focus on things outside of their gameplay. That's at the most fundamental level.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get into the review. They're going to look at their skirmishes, these team fights, these macro plays, these communications, these dragon fights, backing up their jungler and all this. Fuck that. Your laning is trash.
Yeah, exactly.
You're platinum for a reason, man. Your laning is garbage.
Yeah, but for some reason they think it's like, well, like I'm a challenger player if with my communication.
and then they say and they say things like this and they say in flex queue I beat diamond ones easily, but then solo queue I lose to platinum ones.
Yeah, how many times have I heard
I've
that?
heard that so many times.
We're this team. We're I've heard someone
With
say
my team.
we're a diamond team and we beat challenger players.
That is just so incorrect.
And they die. They might once.
They might once randomly. No, not even, because I feel like they're not trying.
Yeah, well, that too. That's
Literally
what
not
I say as well,
trying.
yeah.
Like when we play, it's
Yeah,
like
when
when
we-
I play Clash.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do try really, really hard.
Yeah.
Dude, I play normal games and lose to platinum players sometimes. I'm just
Absolutely.
dicking around.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
Like if I try my best champion, it's gonna be so much of a stomp. You're gonna quit the game.
Yeah.
That's why I don't play my main champions in those games.
That's
I don't
right.
want to play them in Clash. I don't even
Yeah.
want to play Orianna in Clash because
Yeah.
it's not fun.
Yeah.
So like it's at the most fundamental level, it's taking it's I believe it forces them let's not say force, that's not the right word. I would say it increases the chances of this player focusing on areas that are not going to make them a better player.
That's right.
Or maybe they're focusing on 1%ers when there's still 20%ers there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like in anything. You don't go from advanced. You don't go from beginner to advanced. You go beginner, then intermediate, then a little bit, and then you get only focus on the advanced stuff later on.
And you'd say team playing comms, that's just advanced
That's
stuff.
just advanced
It's
shit.
advanced shit, isn't it? Yeah. You're right.
I mean, that's stuff we haven't figured out. We've been playing the game for 10 years. I've been coaching pro, world-class players, really good players. We don't know. You know? So that for me, that was my initial reaction.
Yeah, mine's the exact same as well. You just this whole post. There's so much underneath it. It's like, the tip of the iceberg, right? Like, this is what you're saying here. It's a little tip here. And then all this here is like Band-Aid, blaming teammates, toxicity, low,
You know another one? Just
not learning to learn how to learn.
You know another one?
What's that?
You're gonna get influence to expand your champion pool.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this came to mind.
Is that really bad?
This is disgraceful.
Why is that? Because people are countering you.
No, this is even worse, Nathan.
What's going on?
People are going to be thinking like this.
Yeah.
Playing in these games, my two main champions are getting banned now. I got to expand my champion pool. And then they start having discussions with these players saying like, oh, what's the meta? And they start talking about meta.
Oh.
Okay.
The meta.
Interesting. I mean, I could see how playing meta champions is like a thing. And I had this discussion with someone on my Discord today, dude. I've come to the conclusion, and I could be wrong, and I'm just going to throw this out there. I think that meta doesn't really matter until Diamond. I think it's
4?
Diamond. To be honest, I want to say higher, but I'm just going to say Diamond 4.
Let's go Diamond 4, yeah.
I would say it really doesn't matter. Because the reason being, meta is most effective tactics available. Correct? That's what meta stands for.
That's correct.
It doesn't matter what tactics you use in a suboptimal, inefficient environment. Okay, let's say this. Let's actually use a real life example. Let's say you're playing soccer, or Europeans call it football. And let's just say you are playing with, we're saying under 13, under 12s, like very young kids, 12-year-olds playing soccer. And you get a world-class coach, right? You get what's his name? The guy from... what's his name again?
I used to make your pro football picture.
Pep Guardiola. All right. You get Pep Guardiola and he comes in.
Yeah.
And he says, at the moment, at the highest level, this is the way football is being played.
Yeah.
Beautiful football, whatever it is. Europe, what does he say? Where's he from? Spanish football?
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I don't know. I can't remember.
And he comes in and he says, all right, guys, get gathered together. This is the way we're going to play football.
Yeah. Like the formation and stuff like that.
Formations, the passing,
Yeah.
Everything like that. It really won't do anything because these people don't know how to do the basics of just efficient passing. They don't know how to get the ball to their feet, then pass it. They're going to fumble around. They have to think about it. They don't have the fundamentals of football yet to utilize this strategy. And when the game is played at such an inefficient level, it's it really doesn't do shit because you're not executing on it properly anyway. And it's a kind of a weird example. Or the way you can maybe interpret the example is, okay, if we're to play football, soccer, but it's pissing down with rain. It's the worst possible conditions where the ground is just muddy as hell. There's pissing down with rain. You can't even see in front of you. The ball's going everywhere, slip and sliding everywhere. Dude, you can do whatever the hell you want. There's no the strategy has gone out the window at that point.
That's
You're
right.
just going to have a crack.
Yeah.
Especially if we're under 12s.
Yeah.
Under 15s.
Yeah.
Even if you have the best coach, it's going to be a shit quality game.
Yeah.
So, the thing with meta is that, yes, in theory, right now, given the items in the game, given the champions and all that, cool. When the game is played at the highest level, this is correct. The meta really does matter. We're not playing at the highest level. We're not even close. People are dying to 2-minute 40 level 3 ganks every game.
Doesn't matter what champion.
Doesn't matter what champion.
Yeah.
Okay? So, yes, it might have it could be, we're talking a 1-2% potential change. And you know what, again, what I always bring this back to is champion mastery. You could play brand mid to Diamond 4 in whatever season, whatever year we're playing in.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
You could literally play brand mid to Platinum 1, Diamond 4, no matter what year you've been in, what meta.
Yeah.
You could do it.
Yep.
If you really want, you could do it.
Yep.
It could be a little bit harder.
Yep.
Than
Yep.
if
Well,
it
it will
be.
be.
It will be harder
Yep.
than if you do it with a Diana.
Yeah.
But that's not even about the meta. We're just talking about just champion at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So anyway, the way this ties to this point is when these players, these Diamond 4 players, are playing.
They're trying to
these
beat
in-houses,
pros when they're not.
they're trying to. Yeah, they're trying to. Okay, this is taking away from champion mastery. And you know what, Nathan? Oh my god, I'm coming up with some absolute bangers today, man. I'm having a midlife crisis.
You're literally it's an
orgasming.
analogy machine, dude. It's just here's another one.
There's all these things that are going to my brain right now.
Yeah.
So there's a concept in weightlifting called progressive overload. Or phase potentiation, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Phase potentiation.
Yeah.
Might get grilled here, man, by someone in the comments. But anyway,
hopefully
read on this.
Hopefully some sort of bodybuilder weightlifter.
I think it's called phase potentiation.
Yeah.
And the way it works essentially is like you work or you do certain exercises or build certain muscles in a specific order that help you get better at the next thing you do. So it's kind of like an order of doing things. Like you don't, like if you do X exercise and build X muscle or do X exercise, then that will help you with the next exercise, which is going to help you with the next. It's like an order to doing it in a way, or order to building muscle, or getting a certain physique, or getting stronger. It's an order of things you should do, and you should get like bigger, more muscle first, and then you use that muscle to lift more and do certain exercises which make you get stronger. It's like a process anyway. So what I'm getting at here is, one of the concepts I think I've thought about in league is this. If you get 2 or 3 champions to a challenger level, you learn, or even 2, let's say you get 2 champions to a challenger level, ideally 3. It doesn't matter, like, you are going to be so bloody good at the game that by the time you go back, let's just say, hypothetically, you only play those 3 champions, and you get banned out in a clash, or you're going to be so good at whatever champion force, even if you've never played it.
You're instantly like a high diamond level.
At whatever you play.
Yeah.
You're going to be at a high diamond level.
Because at the end of the day, that person, let's say you're challenging EU West, you're playing against people like Perks and Caps and stuff in solo queue.
Yeah. But I'm talking more in specific, like you learn skills by playing at that high level.
Yeah, again, through playing.
Yeah, by versing better players that will teach you so much about the game that you're just going to dominate when you go and even expand your champion pool after. So these players that are in Diamond 4 trying to have like this 5 champion pool thing and getting scared of being banned out, trying to play the meta all the time and do all this bullshit. No. Have your 2 or 3 champions, get in solo queue, get to challenger, then you can throw your dick around in these amateur in-houses.
Yeah.
You know?
But Curtis, remember, a lot of these players aren't going to get challenger. Maybe they goes on to get challenger.
Okay, well, they're definitely not going to get challenger by doing the in-houses.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. If you're going into those things thinking you're going to suddenly become a Michael's player, you're just
okay. And I want to keep in mind. Show me.
Yeah.
All right, show me a player that is significantly improved and actually got into challenger because of their time in in-houses.
That's why.
Show me.
That's why I also want. I want someone to show me them losing a team game through their communication.
Or a game that they would have... they still... Okay, yes, and even to expand on that, show me a game that you won because of communication, and then I'll tell you why that you would have won anyway if you're just better at the lane.
That's right, yeah. Spot on.
Because you just put yourself in different situations if you're just better at the game.
Yeah, again, I always say, if you're winning...
Now, again, one last time to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
If you were, say, me or you going into an in-house, I think I could actually get the same value, if not more, because I have a healthy relationship with the review and I knew my priorities.
Wait, from the compared to solo queue, you think you get...
I could sometimes get potentially better. Purely because maybe actually maybe not, because I don't know, is the intensity going to be higher? I don't know. That's a good question. Is the intensity higher?
That's such a good question.
Well, okay, I would say that a case to be made, the intensity could be higher because you're getting immediately held accountable in comms. You've got to... There's more of like a standard there. It's like, holy shit, I know these guys. They know me. They hear my voice. If I start like playing shit and then autopiloting and like tilting, like I might get roasted. I don't want to get roasted in voice chat. I can't just mute them all, right? I mean, you could theoretically, but like you probably won't because you'll probably get banned.
Of course.
So maybe the intensity is higher. But what I'm trying to get at here is, and this ties into another deeper level here, is that I think I could get a lot of value out of in-houses, or the same, if not more maybe, from in-houses, because I know what's important to look at in a review. But the problem is, for the average player going into these in-houses, they don't have that information. They don't have that knowledge. So you're getting certain things emphasized more. So it's not the fact, okay, I'm not explaining this well, but let's just say, let's say it like this. Let's say there's two kids looking into a lolly shop. Okay? And so you got, let's say there's like a window, then a door, then a window.
Okay.
On one side of the window, there's some lollies.
Yeah.
And on the other side of the same window on the other side, there's lollies. And there's one kid staring into the window on either side of that door, right? What that kid will want to buy, or the lolly that looks best to them, will probably be the lolly that is like up the front, looks the coolest, the prettiest. And they like there's like shiny big red lollipop that's there, and there's all light around it. It's cool graphics everywhere, or like there's this competition going on. Like, I want that one, mommy. I want that one, right? And then on the other side, it could be a completely. Let's just say like nothing is. There's gonna be like nothing highlighted. It's just like everything's just bland, and the kid just has to genuinely pick something from there. So in one of the guy on the left hand side, this guy with the red lollipop, the chances are that they're gonna review that. I mean, buy that red lollipop. And the analogy I'm trying to make here is the guy with the red lollipop, that's someone in in-houses and getting dragged into and being influenced to review a certain thing. They're getting influenced to review that 15-minute dragon team fight where their jungler's complaining about the way you played it, or you didn't comment, or XYZ reason around this dragon fight or this team fight or something like that, or this invade. Comparatively in solo, you don't have that. You're by yourself. You're in the shit. You load up your little OPGG or your, and you have to figure out where to direct your attention.
Yeah.
There's no biases here. It's just you getting into it. No one's influencing you. You got to figure out what influenced. You have to figure out yourself. What was the key contributing factor to that win or loss? And the great thing about that is that you have to be like a detective. You have to be like, interesting. When I did that, that actually led to that. You're taking full responsibility for the outcome of that game. But in the other situation, yes, you could theoretically do that still, but the chances that happens is so slim because you're in a call with 4 other idiots telling you, okay, hey Tim, can you pause your review for a second and come to this and review this with me? No. And then the thing is, you don't play with these guys again. They just go to another game. It's not like you're trying to get better as a team. See what I'm getting at?
I remember even having a game. I think when was it? Some guy wanted me to get. It was ages ago. I think it was on one of my wife JC episodes.
Wait, is that the batteries like flashing? That's terrifying.
No, it's fine. He was saying that. He said, Nathan, like, can I really review this game because like my teammates were telling me because they were all on comms. Like, I mean, this was I think a clash game or something like that. So I mean, we can sort of still say I could still see this happening in houses, right? Stop looking at that, Curtis. It's fine.
Okay.
He was saying, Nathan, can you review this? Like, they were trying to tell me to go, like, bot at this moment, right?
When was this? What was this?
This is, like, some Wife JC episode ages ago. And it's like, Nathan, like, I just need you to just, like, tell me, like, was I doing the right thing, right?
Okay.
And then we got into the review, and then there was, like, 5 things before that.
Before that point.
It doesn't even matter about whether they called you or not.
Yeah.
But that's where his focus was.
Yeah, he's just like, I just want to figure out what to do here.
Because he was really upset about it. Because his team was just saying like, what are you doing here? But then I was like, well, you know, I don't want, if it's irrelevant, I don't want you to focus on it.
It's such a small thing that
like when
the chances that situation comes up again, this is so simple.
Yeah, I don't want to think of specifics. You know, as you say, we want to be teaching like fundamentals, mindsets, the why.
The why you
rather
play
than
the way you do.
Should I have been here or not? It's like, again, who cares, right? And again, this is why, because I've had so many negative experiences by people who just emphasize they have this little fantasy. You know, when you say the lolly shop analogy, I view it as like the lolly shop thing. That's like the in-houses. It's like all the sexy fun thing. You know, it's like we're playing League and like the team thing.
The team, it's all sexy.
But I just want to do the boring, just queue up in solo queue, get your teammates that are just raging, trolling. You just want to like go into like this fairyland.
Like, yeah.
And everyone's delusional.
Yeah.
I just love boring.
I mean, I think this and I think this whole in-house thing is so toxic, man. TLDR.
I like the gym, everyone knows about it, right? It's like you go in there, you do like we go in there, we do 5 separate exercises. We do like our sets and our reps and nothing sexy about it. Maybe like bench press is cool because it's like, yeah, we're big and strong men, you know? But like a lot of exercises we do, they look pretty like pathetic in a way, you know?
Yeah, I would agree.
But it's like That's what solo queue is. It's boring, dude. Boring is sexy. But you're actually getting really good, and then you're gonna be sexy in another way, you know?
And it's kind of like that David Goggins thing where he's like running without music.
Yeah. Training without music. Yeah.
Like training with, it's like what happens, because the theory is David Goggins, for those of you who don't know, he's like some military dude. And he's like a motivational speaker now. And like he's this hardcore guy.
Yeah.
And
toughest man on planet Earth.
yeah, he thinks he's like the toughest man on planet Earth. And he thinks that like you shouldn't train with music because it's like cheating. Because the theory is like when that music's not there and you get like hit or something goes wrong, like how are you going to overcome it?
Yeah.
You have some motivational music in the background. No, you got to figure it out. It's you in your head. And that's the same thing I kind of view. It's like training wheels. Like that's the way I kind of view in-house. It's like you're playing with training wheels. Fucking rip them off, man. Go into solo queue, rip them off.
Love it, dude. Rip them off.
All right, so I reckon we get into the questions now.
All right, we can do some questions.
I'd love to hear feedback on this sort of style.
Is it a different style?
I think this is definitely a different style, man.
I don't think so. We haven't really gone... We did one topic the whole time.
We just...
I just took your book. What am I doing
We
here,
just whipped around. We just whipped around, man.
All right.
Zipped around.
Looped it in. We did like a roller coaster, but it's like it went backwards.
I like that one more, man.
You think so?
Yeah, I feel like I learn more from doing it like that.
Yeah, we got some video ideas, dude. I got to make a new YouTube channel about communication and like code words and like military style. You got more analogies you can make videos on. We got to do a video on building relationship, having a good relationship with League of Legends.
I like that. Having a healthier relationship with League. That's what I want to do a video on.
And rebuilding it. You could have a toxic relationship, but you can rebuild it. We've rebuilt our relationship with League. Now we're loving it at the moment.
I was going to figure out how.
Just how we did it.
How do you do that?
And how do you do it consistently?
Yeah, exactly. Because you have to rebuild it.
How to build like
multiple times.
Good foundation.
Exactly. You got to build the foundation first.
Yeah.
How do you build a good foundation? And I think, oh my God, I could talk for this hours.
Because that's part of the relationship as well. It's like, and same thing with the boring things. Like, you got to put in the work.
You got to put in the work at the beginning.
At both ends.
Both, yeah. And the fascinating thing is I reckon the patches and the meta is not the foundation at all.
No, it's not.
That's starting a relationship. If you pick up a champion,
yeah.
Just because it's like flavor of the month, you pick up Kale mid. The other, like if you and I said this on my videos, don't pick up Kale mid because it's gonna get nerfed anyway. If you picked up Kale mid, wasted a month there, and you want to stick with it, you have not built a healthy relationship with League and solo queue doing that.
You just did the little pleasure thing, little
short-term pleasure.
Yeah,
it's like a one night stand.
Yeah,
literally.
You cheated on your partner. All right, guys, let's go into the BBC question time.
I should play my guitar.
Yeah,
I've got a guitar here.
Right, so you can practice it while we're in the break, but we'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, so we're back. Curtis decided not to play a jingle because he's not confident in his guitar skills yet. So Curtis says in 2 weeks' time he's going to have a jingle for the BBC.
Oh, actually, I'll have a crack.
Time.
Should I have a crack?
You're right, you can have a crack.
Right, you have to hold the mic in front of my guitar.
Yeah, well, I can do
that.
I
have to sing.
All right.
I'm going to sing.
You're going to sing?
Yeah.
You're going to like sing. It's like, welcome to... All right, here we go. Is everyone ready for this? All right, hopefully. So it would be here. The sound comes from here, right?
Maybe do a bit of both so you can get me and my
my
voice as well. My beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Wait. I gotta get the thing going. Okay.
Do.
Oh shit.
You're on the spot here, Curtis.
Hey everyone, welcome to our show. Fuck, this sounds shocking.
Get us. Don't keep it going. It was good.
Shit, I think I ruined the. Is it even tuned?
Yeah, try again, Curtis. We got plenty of time here.
I think it's fully in tune.
Just do a quick intro for the broke my concept question time.
Oh, you gotta get the rhythm going, then add in some lyrics. Okay.
Okay.
Hey everyone. Fuck. We're gonna be talking about questions, answers, having fun. Fuck, nah, that's too hard. I can't sing and play, dude.
It's harder.
It's really hard.
It's probably harder than it looks.
I haven't played guitar in like 10 years.
It's pretty good effort. You only been practicing. You only got it like yesterday or whatever. You only
I'm
started
like sweaty.
yesterday.
I'm all nervous and shit, dude.
Yeah, it is pretty scary. You should do that for your YouTube channel intros. Like, it's like, hey, everyone's like, do something else, That's unique League content, Curtis.
Oh, kill
Then everyone can know who's the guitar guy, All right, so our first question here is from Elviden, I think is how you pronounce his name. So, hey guys, my name is Elviden, 30-year-old Bosnian who's living in Sweden. Got to say, I really love your show because it's given me so much perspective and opened up my view to so many things. Keep it up. To my question, I've been playing League since 2011 on and off with some breaks, but mostly sticking to grinding LOL. I got to Gold 4 this season, and lately, especially in preseason, I've lost all my motivation for playing ranked, and it's resulted in a lot of losses. There was this period where I got inspiration from Curtis, and I only focused on learning specific things, which was really satisfying, and it helped me switch focus from rankings and LP, which resulted in more wins. You talked about this as well. I feel like I'm tired of my top 3 champs, and in the past, when I've found a new champion I really like, I've had more wins and success. I want to get better at the game because I love the competition and the game is so complex. What do you recommend me to do and how? Like, should I focus only on maybe CS and trading and then follow up closely in my VODs? Thanks. Stay safe.
So he's essentially saying he's in the shit in preseason.
Yeah, he's in the shit in preseason.
He's lost motivation. He's lost.
He's tired of his 3 champs. So I guess he's tried Champion Mastery, but now he's just like, I just don't like these champions.
Well, this has been the theme, man, of December as well. I mean, it's shocking.
We hate December, don't we, Curtis?
Well, especially you. You've always said this since I first met you.
Yeah, have I really?
Nathan always said to me, he said, I hate December. It's just a casual month. Everyone's winding down, having fun.
Not much is happening. Everyone's ready for their New Year's resolutions in January.
You just hate it.
Yeah, I mean, the getting with family and the Christmas spirit. Yeah, like I can get behind that, but like, like everyone starts shutting off like mid-November, dude. It starts mid-November.
It does. It starts mid-November.
It's like 6 weeks of just no one's doing much.
So what do we do, man? How do we help this guy?
Well,
what would you recommend?
All right. Well, I mean, what's your goal for season 11? And knowing that what you do in the work right now, you do in the preseason, is going to help you achieve that goal.
I mean, honestly, why don't we reframe this?
To what?
It sounds like right now he's a bit burnt.
Yeah.
Why don't we use this for, what's his name again?
Elviden. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like to me, man, you love the game. It sounds like you love it.
You've been playing a long time.
Yeah, you've been playing a long time. It's all good. Maybe you are the type of person that does need to take a little bit of a break.
Yeah, maybe you need to.
Maybe this is the time for you where just play a few casual games every now and then. Play a bit of Norm, play with your friends, flex queue.
Don't even be serious about improving and stuff.
Yeah, maybe just really use this as a time to just rekindle your relationship with League in a way. Give it a break. Have some space, alone time. And it's not that you don't have to quit the game.
Game's always there. You can come back.
There, but play casually, and just be a for fun player for a little bit. Even though you hear that thrown around, like you're a for fun player. Or maybe chill out, man, because it does seem that you've been playing since 2011, very long time. You know what you need to do, because this is the thing. You're reading this, you've watched my content, you know what gets you results. You know Champion Mastery is very important, and maybe you're just not ready to learn a new champion as well. It's very difficult. Maybe you're just not in the right mindset right now in the time. Or you know what? Why don't you even play a new champion, but only in normals for the next 3 weeks? Zero expectation of where you're going to be. Play it for fun. Play a bunch of champions for fun. And come back in January, you're refreshed, rearing to go, and then we can make Season 11 great. Like make America great again, make Season 11 great again. We're going to do that. That's my advice. I could be completely missing the point here, but...
All right, so let's say you're tired of the champs. This is my approach is going to be different here. You're tired of these champs, and you don't really want to take a break from the game. Like you don't actually have much to do, and you think you have plenty of time. Maybe there's an opportunity to play a lot.
Maybe he hasn't played that much in the season. Okay. Yeah.
So go back on these top 3 champs, and start just going hardcore pushing your limits on them. Like literally just like go into, maybe it's normals. I mean,
like play them differently the way you usually would. Play them differently,
yeah. Start experimenting with builds or like have fun, like relearn. Feel like you're relearning the champion again. Yeah, like that's what I've actually recently come back with Eve, and like I was in this huge rut with Eve. Like it's like I would have this simple clear every time the blue buff clear, I actually just made a video on it, and I'll just like do this clear, and then like something would happen, not happen, and then like I reset and go back topside, and then the game would be won or lost, like basically then I didn't have that much impact. But then Eve got so much fun when I started doing some crazy shit. I did like Red Krugs Raptors level 3 gank. Or like Red Krugs Raptors, then go all the way top, or do some crazy different pathing like that no one expects you.
And I actually kind of felt like this with TF because I did that ADTF video. And I had to change the way I played TF. And it was actually really fun.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with ADTF. I actually find it really fun.
You can do different things with champions. And maybe...
And it doesn't even have to be the build. It can just be the way you play it.
Yeah.
Try it. Yeah, I actually really like that point, Nathan. There's always... People think that like when they play a champ, like they're just capped. Or like they know they can climb with it. But just, push limits. Play the lane differently than you usually would. If you play Orianna very slowly and you played a 1300 gold for a lost chapter, play it really fast and aggressive and go back for an early Dark Seal.
Yeah.
Try that.
Yeah.
Push your limits. I actually really like that. So that's an interesting way to...
It's like sort of... It's not so much the rebuild relationship with League. It's like rebuild a relationship with the champion as well.
Well, it's like, you know when you're in a relationship and things get stale and then you got to like make things fun?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Make things fun again. Book that
crazy trip. Book that hotel. Is that too far, Nathan?
That's... Yeah, all right. Good. Let's bring it back, yeah. All right. This one is from Toast. He thinks this is potentially a dumb sounding question. Is there any dumb questions? On
No,
the
I
BBC
love...
Question Time?
I actually really like the more basic the question, the better.
That's right.
Because actually, there's a little riff on here quickly. Don't feel the need to ask like the simple questions are the most important because it means that like if you don't understand the basic why we do something a basic thing, it actually hurt you down the long run. Anyway, go on.
Is it normal to feel demotivated to do something that means everything in the world to you? Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely, man.
And the funny thing is that more you feel like you really need to do something, the more you don't want to start because you're scared of like screwing it up or something. Like this is the perfect thing from like what writer's block is all about, right? Like a perfect example is the guy that writes Game of Thrones. Who is it? Is George
J.R. Martin or something?
George R. Martin or something.
George R. Martin, yeah.
Yeah, George R. Martin. Like he's like been like stuck on like some series or some book for just ages. But that's because of the whole hype around Game of Thrones. It's so big, it's so famous. He's and this is a professional writer. It's not like he can't do it. He can't actually sit down to actually write it because there's so many expectations and stuff because it means the world to him. And he's a world class. Well, you know, he's got a proven track record. But like think about doing something that doesn't really mean much to you. You don't really care too much, right?
Yeah, just do it.
You just do it.
Yeah.
You don't care how well you do it or not. Like, so it's very normal.
Very normal, yeah.
I recommend reading. Oh, there's some book I forgot what it's called, but it's about Steve Preston or something like that, and it talks about it's essentially procrastination. Like, this is essentially procrastination, but there's like I mean, I can't even quote things from it because I'm just going to mess it up. I'll potentially say it for next episode. Actually, can I look it up? Curtis, what's your response? I want to look it up.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of situations in my life where I've had this. I mean, okay, for me, I haven't had this with League. I've had it with more like my job. So with doing my YouTube, sometimes I feel really motivated to make videos, and I can even say to myself, it is so important that like this YouTube is everything for me. Like building my YouTube channel, it's literally my livelihood, right?
Yeah.
And if I don't do my YouTube well, and I don't make good videos, and I don't continue to do it, like I won't make money. I'm done. So in those situations, generally it means one of two things for me anyway. One, actually there was three things. Oh, remember that conversation I came into your room, Nathan, about when I said I want to create art?
Yeah.
That was a huge one for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I genuinely, for a period of time, I think it was like this weird period of time where I was in a very big rut with my content. Not because I didn't have topics, but I was very uninspired. Like I didn't want to make the videos that I had said I was going to make, purely because I just didn't feel inspired to make them. Like they didn't excite me. And even though I knew it was important to make them or I'd get value from making them, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And I went into Nathan's room one day. I said to him, man, I'm just in a rut. I just don't want to make these videos. I just feel so uncreative. I'm just not creative. And Nathan said this really interesting thing. He's like, why are you making these videos? Are you making them for other people or are you making them for yourself? And what I realized when I made my best content, it was always things that like I wanted to do, that I genuinely thought was important and I was passionate about. And rather than making a video, the way I framed it in my mind was, I'm making art. And this may be different for whatever what you do, but I think what I'm trying to get across here is that you need to connect with why you're doing something, because it's so easy to get into a rut. Like, are you improving? You're improving for the sake of improving, or are you improving because you want X result, or are you doing it for someone else, or are you doing it for yourself? Like, and sometimes we get so caught up with doing it for someone else for like an image thing or to prove, like whatever it is, like bring it back to why you're doing something. And I feel like we lose track of that sometimes, especially when it's a long-term project and you're just getting small results, and you get beaten down. I just had to connect what the hell am I doing here? And why am I doing it? And what makes it fun for me? It's not about anyone else. It's about what I genuinely believe to be helpful. And the other thing was sometimes it was a sign where I had a shit schedule. So if my schedule was really bad, it didn't matter what day it was
or how motivated
it was.
Times.
I didn't have the energy or the willpower or anything to get to literally do it.
And that's the good thing about schedule. It eliminates that stuff. It's like, this is at the time, you got to do it.
And I went through this really awesome period where I had like this beast mode schedule, and I'm slowly starting to get back in that now with the gym, but it was even better than it was now, where I had like this schedule. I'm like, okay, these 2 hours in the morning, that's my deep work period, where like, it doesn't matter. There's nothing else scheduled here. I have full freedom, and this 2 hours is completely dedicated to this. And what happened, because I had that clarity during that time, was like, cool. I had no distractions. I just got it done. So it could be a sign of your schedule is really poor as well. That's my advice anyway.
So I found the book here. It's Stephen Pressfield, Do the Work, Overcome Resistance, and Get Out of Your Own Way. And he talks about this in here as, that the bigger the project, the harder it is to start and lose motivation and stuff like that, because his task is so big. It's like let's say you got to climb 1,000 steps. It's like, it's 1,000 steps, but it's like you got to do the first step, and then you do the second step, and the third step, fourth step, and it's like gym goes so quick for me, Curtis.
Because you're only focusing on the reps.
Yeah.
You're present in the moment.
Yeah. Like I could easily think like, I'm going to have to do all this stuff. I have to do
an hour.
But it's like I do one exercise. I'm like, oh, okay, it was done. It's check 2. It's like, oh, now I've only got 3 to go now. Oh, 4. Oh my God. It's done.
Is it Kobe Bryant when he spoke about running? He says all he thought about when he was running was look down to the ground and look at the next step. Just look at your feet. One step. Allows you to be present. I mean, again, I think what we're both trying to get at here is like, I think schedule can be good because it's like, what do I need to do next? Just the next. And if you're, let's just say your thing is like, you want to get challenger because you want to be a pro player and you're like a platinum player. Your next goal isn't to get to challenger, it's to get from plat 3 to plat 2. Then from platinum 2 to platinum 2 50 LP, then promos. Well, they don't have promos anymore, but then platinum 1. What I'm trying to get at here is you're not going to go from plat to challenger. It's like you got to get from plat 2 to plat 1.
I don't know. I actually thought about this, Curtis. I actually disagree.
Oh, really?
I think that it's good to have a end goal for your rank. But if you start getting into the little nitty gritties of plat 3 to plat 2, you get really stuck because then those wins and losses are really effective. Because, but if you're like, okay, I'm just going to get to diamond 1, it's like, this doesn't really matter. Like, I understand I have to take those steps, but then I found that sometimes they get too stuck in like this little rigid, specifically for there's a huge group of players, Curtis, that bounce between D4 and D3 a lot. Like they literally cannot possibly get higher than D3 because they're focused on like D3, oh yes, I hit D3, like I'm gonna get to D2 this time, and they start getting a loss streak, they go back down to D4, they're back in their D3 promos, and they're just stuck constantly in it because they're so focused on those short-term goals, I guess you could maybe say.
For me, I can see that, but I just don't resonate. Because when I was going for my 800 LP. I didn't think 800 LP. Every 100 LP was my milestone. My goal when I was 300 was to get to 400. And when I was at 400, I wanted 500. When I was at 500, I wanted 600. I never went... yes, I had that goal.
Yeah.
But I wasn't thinking
Yeah, but that
about
was the overarching goal. Yeah, and you're not meant to think about it, but you should have that overarching goal. Like, you can't have just Plat 2 because I feel like you'll never get to Diamond 1.
No, but the reason is, man, is that, like... The reason I'm passionate about this way of thinking is because you're going to learn things... when I'm at 300, I'm going to learn things at 400 that's going to help me be a 500 LP player. And when I get to 500, I'm going to learn things that's going to help me be a 600 player.
But at the end of the day, you still had that idea of being like top 10 or 1K LP. That was still in your mind.
Yeah, I'm saying the goal is there.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I'm assuming this guy maybe he's overwhelming himself by trying to go from platinum to challenger. It's like the thing. The project is so big, break it into bite-sized chunks.
That's definitely important, yeah.
But break it up, man. You're not going to go. That's what I'm saying. Yes, you can have your goal, but... if you're only thinking of going from platinum straight to diamond 1, dude, you have to learn so much when you're in platinum 1, diamond 4, diamond 3. The things you learn on that road is what's going to get you to diamond 1. You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah,
that's why I think
absolutely.
breaking it up is important.
Yeah.
So I think it's the way you view it. I
I would break it up, but not in specific little ranks.
but how can you break it up otherwise?
It's like specific fundamentals. Like, you just got to track people at this time. You got to do this, and
Yeah, but that's what gets you the results. Like, that's what I'm saying. So let's just say this is a very poor analogy because we know it's not like this in reality. But let's just say this guy, out of all the fundamentals, he had everything at a 50. Let's say all the jungle fundamentals, or like a 50 out of 100. And let's say we honed in on one of them, which was what's a classic jungle fundamental that improves over time as you get better.
let's say
Like lane assessment.
Yeah, gank assessment.
Gank assessment, right? Let's say for some reason we were able to highlight and hone in on gank assessment. Now, at Platinum 1, if he were to improve his gank assessment to like 60, he may get to Diamond 4. And then he would improve it to 70, he might get to Diamond 3. We know this is not how it would work, but let's say theoretically. And what I'm getting at is you're not going to go from 50 to 75. You're going to go from 50 to 55, then 55 to 60, then 60 to 65.
Absolutely.
And like, I don't see how someone is not going to be able to see that in their rank and be like, oh, my rank's improving because I'm focusing on this. And now, like, this is helping me get on my journey. Like, I don't see how someone's going to be able to bypass looking at each rank. Like, I feel like you have to embrace it. It's like, cool, I'm Diamond 4 now. Great. That's one step on my journey. And now I'm Diamond 3. Cool. Now I'm Diamond 2. It's like, I can see where you're coming from though. It's like, holy shit, I'm Diamond 3 now. I don't want to lose that. Like, I'm scared. Like, if I lose it, I'm going to go back to D4. You got to have the context of your goal, which is challenger or whatever it is. You can't obsess over the details, but I think you got to embrace the fact that you got to break it up into bite-sized chunks. And that you're going to learn. It's kind of like the phase potentiation. You have to go through X exercise. It's going to help you build this exercise, which is going to help you learn this exercise. And there's actually probably certain things in mid lane, by the way, that you can't learn in gold. Certain concepts. So you're not going to actually be able to learn side laning in gold because you just got a group. If you side lane in gold, you lose. And you can't actually have good CS scores in gold either because you got a group. You have to be inefficient. So you have to learn how to be efficient later on, not until like Plat 1. You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Anyway.
Maybe I'm honing in on a certain group of people.
Yeah, I think it's just different for everyone. We'll throw that all out there. He might resonate with one of us.
All right, next question here is from Tyler. Hey, fellas, love the potty.
The potty.
You must be an Aussie. Is that how you'd say it?
The potty.
The potty?
That's the toilet.
No, the potty with double D.
Okay.
Like podcast, potty.
Yep.
You got it?
Yep.
As a mid laner, I feel as if regardless of my secondary role, I'm quite often not getting my primary role mid. I understand mid is the most popular role and hence a need to be filled, but it seems as if about 40% of the games I'm not playing my role. I secondary top and usually use this time to practice champs that can be flexed between both roles such as Akali. However, I feel as if there's a lot of time I'm wasting playing these pointless games off role. Any advice would be appreciated.
Yeah, this is a problem. I've had this with quite a few people on my Discord.
Okay.
Okay, so I kind of cheat this system a little bit. I try and find out what the most popular role is at my rank because it actually changes. In high elo, like Diamond 1 Plus, it's support. It's actually quite common. So I actually get mid a lot if I put support secondary. But then in low Diamond, if I put top, top's actually more popular. So I get...
Is that the case? Is that actually the case?
That's genuinely the case for me.
Fascinating.
That's why I swap between my accounts. Sometimes I do support secondary when I'm in higher Diamond 1 Plus. When below that, I put top.
I always do jungle and mid.
Well, that's kind of easy because mid, you should theoretically, that should be good for getting you jungle. But that's what I do. So what I realized as well when I was playing temporarily in my gold account or whatever, back in the day, I would do 80 carry secondary. Or top. I think it was 80 carry or top. I knew support. If I did support secondary, I would always get support. Because no one wanted to play support in like gold. But in what I realized, that a lot of people played 80 carry at that point in time. So experiment around and find... I mean, this is a little gimmicky way of doing it. If you're really that concerned, is that you can find what's the most popular. And it actually varies at times as well, funny enough. If you get very specific.
Yeah.
So when I would queue on my higher elo account again, on these accounts that I'm playing now, in the morning, if I do support, I will always get support. But in the afternoon, there's more supports. And I'll put top in the morning. Yeah, so there's like weird little things you'll find out.
Jeez, I didn't even know that, Gertis. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I didn't know you actually do that.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
But that's a little gimmicky thing. And it comes down with experience. So you experiment with all the secondary roles.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, I don't have much experience. It's just jungle mid, dude. That's it.
But don't put jungle, because jungle's a role that, like, if you're going to do jungle secondary, like, you got to literally relearn the game.
Yeah.
And so unless you're fully committing to jungle secondary and it's going to be something you want to stick with for a very long time, don't put jungle. So it's either top 80 carry or support. That would be my advice.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode, Curtis. Did I even do the intro in this episode?
I don't know.
I must have, right? I can't remember if I said 24.
It's all good.
Maybe because we started talking about Disneyland and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
So I'd like to hear some feedback on this one.
This episode style.
It's a weird
Again,
one.
I think it's the same.
You think this is the same?
Exactly. Nothing's changed.
You're delusional.
Potentially. All right, guys. Well, give Curtis feedback. I don't want any of your feedback.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next episode of the best show on planet Earth, Broken by Concept.
Bye-bye.